I can't find a wound.
It's because it's not my blood.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst horror movie plot twists.
This doesn't make any sense.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most nonsensical, disappointing, and just plain bad plot twists the horror genre has ever seen. Be warned, this list is full of spoilers. Which of these twists did you see coming from a mile away? Sound off in the comments. Number 10. Shooter's True Identity, Secret Window. Stephen King may be the king of horror, but adaptations of his work can be hit or miss. Even the ones with promise can drop the ball.
You stole my story. Well?
I'm sorry. Did I don't believe I know you.
In this 2004 offering, Johnny Depp plays Mort, a writer who begins to lose his grip on reality when a homicidal stranger named John Shooter accuses him of plagiarism. At the climax, it's revealed that Shooter is actually Mort's alternate personality, and it's in fact Mort who's committed the murders throughout the film.
There is no John Shooter.
There never has been. You invented him.
If this weren't disappointing enough, Mort also realizes the name Shooter represents his desire to shoot his estranged wife. In the end, Secret Window just becomes another intriguing premise ruined by a pseudo-psychological twist.
This is just bad writing.
But don't worry, if you don't like this ending, just read King's original short story. It has a very different outcome. Number 9. This is only a test. The Forgotten. Losing a child is every parent's worst nightmare, and The Forgotten magnifies that fear to the max.
Oh, my child. My Sam.
Tilly. There was never a Sam Peretta. You never had a son.
Julianne Moore plays grieving mother Telly, who's shocked to wake up one day and find that all traces of her son have disappeared. Even her husband believes they never had one. But what starts as an emotional conspiracy thriller takes a turn when Telly learns the truth.
They run their experiments with or without our help. They've been doing it for years, maybe forever.
It turns out she's actually been an unwitting subject in an alien experiment to test the strength of motherly love.
Your connection, mother to child, like an invisible tissue. We can even measure its energy, but we don't fully understand it. So I pose the question, can it be dissolved?
The twist feels more like a lazy way to tie up the movie's loose ends than an attempt at something more thought-provoking. Number 8. That's no doll. The Boy.
And this is our son, Brahms.
When an elderly couple hires a young American woman to nanny for a creepy porcelain doll named Brahms, it's no surprise to the audience when the dummy turns out to be, wait for it, alive. But not content with just being another possessed doll movie, The Boy tries to take things a step further in its last act. It turns out that all of the supernatural happenings in the movie were actually caused by a real living man hiding in the walls of the mansion.
It's Brahms.
It can't be.
Reviewers and audiences criticized this twist for how obvious it was early on, not to mention the gaping plot holes it left behind. A for effort, F for execution. Number 7. Copycat Killer, Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. The 5th entry of the Friday the 13th series follows Tommy Jarvis, the survivor of Jason Voorhees' previous massacre, as he arrives at a house for troubled teens and is once again pursued by the hockey-masked villain. But in the last minutes of the movie, we learn it's not Jason behind the killings, but a vengeful paramedic whose son was killed earlier in the film. Although it introduces some whodunit elements to the story, the twist is kneecapped by weak writing, one-dimensional characters, and a rushed explanation at the end.
I guess when he was called to the scene and he saw that it was his own Joey all hacked to pieces.
The title may have promised a new beginning, but the fans weren't having it. The next sequel's title, Jason Lives, ensured fans that they were getting what they wanted. Number 6. Saw that one coming. Spiral.
Zeke, I want you to meet Detective in Training, William Shank. He was the top of his academy, so don't screw this up. Zeke is gonna break you in, show you the ropes.
Detective Banks, get to me. Yep.
The long-awaited sequel to the original Saw series finds two detectives, seasoned veteran Banks and young rookie Shank, investigating a new series of jigsaw traps perpetrated by a copycat killer. After Shank is found dead, Banks is kidnapped and placed in a trap of his own. He escapes, only to discover that his captor is, in fact, Shank.
You disloyal piece of shit.
Everything Banks knew about him, his family, his background, has been a carefully constructed lie.
What about your family? What about your son?
This is my son, Charlie. I don't have a son.
As if the fact that we never saw Shank's family wasn't obvious enough, his apparent death off-screen sealed the deal for us.
We gotta try to keep his identity under the press until I tell his wife.
In a series that was known for shocking twists, this one was a letdown for fans who saw it coming. Number 5, Punny Games. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
It's him.
This derivative and often ridiculous sequel finds Julie, one of the survivors of the first movie, being tricked into a supposedly all-expenses-paid trip to a resort in the Bahamas. But nothing disrupts a vacation like a bad storm and a hooded killer with a hook for a hand.
Can I help you?
In a movie full of plot holes and coincidences, one of the hardest pills it expects its audience to swallow is that Julie's would-be date, Will Benson, is actually the son of Ben Willis, the murderous fisherman she thought she killed in the first movie. Turns out he's been helping Daddy add to his body count this whole time.
You'll get it! Will Benson? Ben's son! Hi, Dad.
We get the name pun, but what an obvious pseudonym. Number 4, Water Sign. Signs.
There's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
Few directors take more pride in their plot twists, or heat for them, depending on their effectiveness, than M. Night Shyamalan. But with its effective scares and moving performances, Signs is a genuinely bracing sci-fi horror film on its own. That's what makes its inclusion on this list so frustrating.
These places marked in crops and such, none of them are really near water. I don't think they like water.
Only when it comes time for our characters to meet the extraterrestrials face to face does the twist reveal itself. These big, bad, scary aliens have an Achilles heel: water. You'd think they'd pick a better target for their invasion than a planet literally covered in the thing that can kill them. And then again, we've seen this kind of thing from multiple alien movies, so chalk this one up to general lack of imagination, we guess. Number 3, Marie All Along, High Tension. High Tension is a taut and effective French slasher film. It tells the story of two friends, Marie and Alex, being pursued by a serial killer who kills Alex's family and kidnaps her. This killing spree ends with Marie suffocating the killer to death. However, it's revealed through security camera footage that Marie has been the murderer all along. The serial killer we've been witnessing is merely a figment of Marie's disturbed mind. In reality, it was Marie who killed Alex's family out of an obsessive love for her friend.
C'est fini. Il est mort. Il est mort, c'est fini.
High Tension is such a brutal and visceral experience that seeing it devolve into a familiar plot twist cheapens what came before.
Alex! Ça va aller maintenant, fais-moi confiance, s'il te plaît, Alex.
Number 2, The Human Doll, Dead Silence. Yet another creepy doll movie. Dead Silence follows a widower named Jamie as he returns to his hometown. While there, he finds a link between his family and a long-dead ventriloquist named Mary Shaw.
Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams,
be sure you never, ever scream.
Soon the bodies pile up and family secrets are revealed. But the final kicker is that Jamie's father has been dead for years. Not only that, we also learn that the old man is actually a hollowed-out puppet being controlled by his wife, who is in turn possessed by Mary Shaw herself.
Now,
Who's the dummy?
The movie tries to explain away how someone wouldn't be able to pick up on their dad being a manipulated corpse, but by then, the suspension of disbelief is already pretty thin.
Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, be sure you never, ever scream.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Plants Did It. The Happening.
Did you hear that? That's funny. It's weird. Those people look like they're clawing at themselves.
There are some plot twists that probably seem more believable on paper. Then there are plot twists like this that have to be seen to be believed.
By the way, I think I know what's causing this.
You do?
It's the plants. They can release chemicals. You like hot dogs, don't you?
In this M. Night Shyamalan eco-thriller, a mass of people taking their own lives forces a married couple to flee the city. Thought to be an act of chemical warfare, this existential threat soon reveals itself to be the result of a neurotoxin spread by, not extremists, but plants. The purpose, to bring humanity back down to size in the ultimate act of plant-based revenge.
The toxin? The toxin is affecting them?
Maybe good acting and a worthwhile environmental message can redeem a plot twist this off the wall. Unfortunately, we may never know.
Plastic. Talking to a plastic plant. I'm still doing it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.